I'm the Badger Reborn, and in this video, I'll share 5 reasons that you'll love the Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. I make videos about a variety of topics related to the Wheel of Time. If you're interested, click the subscribe button for more, and check out some of my other videos at the end. If you found this video after watching the Wheel of Time trailer, you're in the right place. Looked really exciting, didn't it? I can't wait. Don't worry, this video will be spoiler-free, so you can learn a little bit about the Wheel of Time and why I think you'll love the streaming series that Amazon is creating. Of course, we don't know exactly what will be in the series, though Amazon has dropped some hints to the existing fanbase, but I won't discuss any specific details from the books that could spoil anything. In case you're not aware, the show is based on a book series written by Robert Jordan. The series is fantasy and originated before popular recent series like Game of Thrones and Harry Potter. If you'd like to get into the books before the show comes out, you don't have a whole lot of time left, but you could do it. The first season of the show is likely to contain elements and characters from the first 2 Wheel of Time books, which are The Eye of the World and The Great Hunt, as well as from the prequel novel New Spring, which was published later on. Whether you read the books first or not, there are 5 main reasons that you'll love the Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. First, the story is already finished in the book series. It took more than one author to do so, as Robert Jordan passed away before finishing writing the series, and Brandon Sanderson wrapped up the final books. But having a conclusion is a positive thing. Unlike adaptations of unfinished works, The Wheel of Time has an existing ending that most fans, including me, are very happy with. Compare that to a show like Game of Thrones, which fell apart in later seasons when the show writers had to take over the story entirely with really no source material to build off of. In that case, the show didn't feel consistent with the story or the world that George R.R. Martin had created, or more simply, didn't even feel consistent with earlier seasons of the show. That won't be an issue with The Wheel of Time, since the canon is concluded. The Wheel of Time showrunner, Rafe Judkins, will have room to freshen up the story and make it more accessible to new viewers, updating material that was written and conceived of in the 1980s and 90s. However, there's no reason to worry about the quality of the show in terms of sticking to the most important elements, original source material. Changes that we are already aware of include things like adding new characters who are derived from existing characters, similar to how the Marvel Cinematic Universe adds characters inspired from other parts of their comic book canon. There's also an attempt to ensure that the story will feel realistic and timeless, rather than cheap or immature the way low-budget fantasy shows often do. The books have deep themes and complex characters, and the show will need to capture that same depth. The second reason you'll love The Wheel of Time is that, unlike some adaptations, this one is supported by the book's creators, and Rafe himself is a big fan. Brandon Sanderson and Robert Jordan's wife and editor, Harriet, have been involved with the TV show already, giving input on the story, and have both spoken positively about it. The production hired one of the most well-known Wheel of Time fans, Sarah Nakamura, to be a book expert and consultant for the new show. Rafe Judkins is a longtime fan of the books, who has spoken at length about his promise to maintain the heart and soul of the series, despite the need for some changes when adapting a 15-book series into a TV show. When asked in an interview about his desire to create the series, Rafe said, "I didn't want anyone else to do it. I would never forgive myself if someone else who wasn't a fan messed it up." I love that mentality. Having a true fan at the helm and the creators of the series on board too is a huge positive for new viewers because it provides a level of confidence that the story will be great throughout, all the way to the end. An easy parallel is the Lord of the Rings movies. Peter Jackson, a director who started with very little experience, was a huge fan of the stories created by J.R.R. Tolkien. When creating the movies, he desired to do the story justice and bring it to the world in a visual format. Rafe seems to feel similarly about The Wheel of Time. In addition to the great production team, the third reason you'll love The Wheel of Time is that Amazon Prime spared no expense with it. The budget for each episode is reported to be at least $10 million an episode, which is equivalent to the budget that Game of Thrones had for Season 6, and it's larger, quite a bit larger, than what Game of Thrones had in Season 1. Amazon has already greenlit Season 2 of The Wheel of Time, and its production is underway, so there's no reason to worry about a quick cancellation of the Netflix type. The cast is stellar, including headliner Rosamund Pike, who was recently nominated for a Golden Globe, which would join her 2 other Golden Globe nominations, and an Oscar nomination, and a Primetime Emmy win. She isn't the only well-known actor in the cast. In fact, Alvaro Morte, who plays an important book character who seems destined to be expanded in the show, is an even more renowned worldwide actor. Another award-winning actor, he's known primarily for the show Money Heist, but he has an extensive acting history too. The cast on the whole is notably diverse, so if that's something that excites you, this will be a good production to follow. The cast has already talked about how amazing the set designs and costumes are, and most of the shooting was done live in Prague and other European locations, rather than on a green screen in Hollywood. There's a focus on doing practical rather than CGI where possible too, so it should have a realistic look of fantasy like Lord of the Rings movies. In addition to those 3 production-related reasons to love the show, I also have 2 that are related to the way the story is told, which I think are the 2 biggest reasons to love the show, really. First, in The Wheel of Time, there's morality on a black and white scale, and with shades of gray. The world is so rich that there are many antagonists, all exciting and unique. Shows like Game of Thrones existed fully in the shades of gray scale, where The Lord of the Rings was very black and white. Wheel of Time balances both. If you're unfamiliar with The Wheel of Time, a balance between those 2 stories is a good thing to expect. Robert Jordan was heavily influenced by Tolkien's work, which shows early in the story, though Jordan really branches out after the first book. George R. R. Martin, meanwhile, was influenced by Robert Jordan, and even has some homages to Jordan in his books, as Jordan does to Tolkien. If you enjoyed aspects of The Lord of the Rings and or Game of Thrones, Wheel of Time is definitely a series that you have to check out. I've made comparisons to these 2 franchises several times in this video, but make no mistake, Wheel of Time stands on its own as an incredible story at or maybe above the level of those other 2 tales. The final and greatest reason you'll love the Wheel of Time story is its characters. The story focuses on several very important characters who I expect to get a large amount of screen time in the show. It also has an extreme range of unique secondary characters who will make an appearance in the show and add important elements to the story. The main characters are rich and complex, with great arcs that progress as the story unfolds and sometimes take unexpected turns. Characters in the Wheel of Time are flawed, capable of making mistakes, and sometimes ruled by their emotions, just as we all can be sometimes. I guarantee that you'll love at least one of the main characters in the show, and perhaps all of them. The story gives each character completely unique plot lines, goals, and abilities, and they face a range of challenges both separately and together. The story is incredibly complex, and I don't expect the TV show to even have time for dull moments. The action will be incredible, and the character drama just as good. Getting myself really excited. The secondary characters all have their own personalities, plots, and abilities too, which makes the world feel really deeper than most other stories. I can't wait to see the characters from the books brought to life on screen with the amazing production quality that I've discussed. If you were intrigued by the trailer and any of these reasons sounds good to you, I encourage you to watch The Wheel of Time when it's released on Amazon Prime. Give it a try for the first season and see if you get into the story. If it's anything like the books, and I'm confident that it will be, it'll be a story worth watching and falling in love with. I can tell you that for sure. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about the trailer and how you're feeling about the show. Does it look exciting? Were there particular things you were curious about or looking forward to? Let me know. I'm curious about your thoughts. There's a large and avid Wheel of Time fan community already, so there will be plenty of videos soon. Actually, there no doubt already are several out there, breaking down the trailer with potential insights, so check those out as well. Although a lot of them might have spoilers, so be careful. My channel already has speculation videos about the possibilities of the streaming show, so if you want to learn more, check those out too. Before you leave, give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more. I also have a Patreon if you'd like to help make it possible for me to keep creating content. I really value the support of my current patrons and couldn't do this without them. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.